Cheeky bastard.
Tyson, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Still think Joshua would beat you.
Sorry? I think anybody on this beach could beat you.
I think that one burnt. Tyson has to admit that one burnt. That burnt. The old boy put his hand out, expected a handshake. Tyson dissed the handshake. He went in and said, "Nice to meet you. I still think Joshua beat you." And patted Tyson Fury on his back. Oh dear. It is what it is, Tyson. Joshua would beat you. He would beat you. Joshua would knock Tyson Fury out. Y'all know it. The old man knows it. The whole world knows it. So let's wait for the stragglers to get in. Marks is in the building. Okay. Millwall fans stepped up their hate chants over the Liam Roberts incident with a series of 6 songs over the injured Crystal Palace striker, Jean-Philippe Mayweather. Wow. They've just never changed, Millwall fans. They've just never changed. They've always been the outcasts. Wow. What were they saying about him? He's serving a 6-match ban after smashing Mayweather in the head with a flying kick in last week's FA Cup tie. The goalkeeper smashed Jean-Philippe Mayweather in the head. Wow. A flying kick, only a 6-match ban. The French striker was given oxygen before being taken to hospital and needed 25 stitches for a severe gash to his left ear, with Palace chairman Steve Parish describing the challenge as the most reckless he had ever seen. Roberts' original suspension was for 3 games, but it was doubled after the FA demanded stronger action. And the stronger action was just 3 more games? Maybe you should ban him for life. The Millwall fans were in no mood to back down during yesterday's 2-1 win at Watford. Every time a home player went down injured, they chanted, "Let him die." They're just a sick breed, aren't they? They're just a sick breed. They're just a sick breed, man. They should ban him for life. Should ban the keeper for life, man. You know what I mean? Crescencio, what's up? Kieran Malcolm, what's good? All right, let's get on to some boxing. I don't want to talk about Millwall Fat. I don't like him anyway. Don't like him. I don't like them. Like, who wants to see Olexandr Usyk versus Alexander Pereira? Nobody wants to see that. Why do people think, like, maybe there's MMA fans or UFC fans who want to see it? Yes. Boxing Beats and Rhymes, the boxing teacher, about to deliver parliamentary procedure. Right. Okay. Ring Magazine, would you like to see UFC's light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira square off against Olexandr Usyk? So what? Just because Dana's got a position, you think it's just an opportunity and a free-for-all for UFC fighters to have heavyweight championship title shots. Come on now. Come on now. Stop it. Stop it. No, we don't want to see no Alex Pereira. Who is he? After the last guy, UFC guy, attempted to fight a boxer, yo, we don't need to see that. You need to start at perhaps a preliminary level, show some skills, and then see if you can get in the mix to take on world-class heavyweights, let alone champions like Usyk. Stop it now. Nobody wants to see that. Don't come on here trolling, yeah, and think that I'm going to find it funny either, yeah. Don't come on here trolling. That don't work here. Let me get you out of here. I'm just not in the mood for it. Not in the mood for it. If you want to troll with your comments, you better put something in that super chat. If you want to say slick shit in my chat, you better hit up that super chat to get away with it. If you come in here spamming up the comment section talking rubbish, you better put some money in the coffers, my friend. Out you go. Kieran Malcolm at Beats. What boxers do I think may do well in the octagon? I don't know. How would I know that? I mean, I ain't got a clue. Mr. MG4L, what's up? I ain't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. I know there's no need for no Alex Pereira fighting Usyk. There's no need for that. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, though, I would say that, what's his name again? Ngannou has earned a fight against the likes of Deontay Wilder on the strength of what he did with Tyson Fury. Yeah? He's earned a fight. But not a world title shot. No way. If he beat AJ, he could have, he would have got a world title shot. If he beat AJ, he would have definitely got a shot against Usyk. Definitely. Because commercially, it would just be the biggest ticket in the game. You know what I'm saying? He'd be the biggest bankable commodity in combat sports if you'd beat AJ. But he couldn't turn a trigger. He nearly beat Fury, though. He did nearly beat Fury. You know what I mean? He did nearly beat Fury. Fish is like a tennis star taking on a squash player just because they both have a racket. Ridiculous. Yes. Yes. JA05 says Ngannou probably beats Wilder now, to be honest. Wow, that's deep. That's deep. Fish said earn your spot like Parker has. Wow. Mr. Pads. See, now this is a good question. You see, this is a good boxing question. Beats, big up. Do you think Jamie TKV has a chance against Adilier? Now, that's a good question. You know what I mean? I'd like to hear your opinion. If you've got 5 minutes spare and you've got a connection, what do you think of the fight? Let me know what you think of the fight, because I'm still mulling it over. The link is there for Mr. Pads. If Mr. Pads wants to tell me what he thinks of Jamie TKV's chances against Adelaide, I'd be interested. We'll get back to that in a minute. I'm going to do a screen share. I'm going to do a screen share. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Right. StreamYard. Touch screen. Chrome tab. Chrome gang. All right. Yes. Big up Guzzy. So let me give you the link for it as well. Let me give you the link for this. Hit this poll, yeah? Kieran, get on this poll, please. Yeah? Fish, get on this poll. Guzzy, get on this poll. Who do you think Usyk's next opponent should be? There's 3 options. Dubois, Parker, or Caballero. At the moment, like, Dubois took the lead. Parker has opened up a huge lead. 52%. I thought Dubois would be in front after the start, but it's 107 votes right now. Parker has opened a 52% lead. Dubois, 29%, and Caballero, a measly 19%. Interesting. And with that, I need to retitle this stream. That's what I need to do. I need to retitle the stream. Let me go to YouTube. Let me know what you guys think. I thought it was a way, like when I did the poll, I thought it was going to be a waste of time. I said, oh, everyone's going to just say Dubois. But no. Parker, the Kiwi, is it New Zealander? Kiwi? Yeah, the Kiwi. The Kiwi opened up a big lead, mate. Big lead. Our Kiwi friend opened up a big lead. It's a shocker. Right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, people. Yes, indeed. So, right. Who should Olexandr Usyk fight next? Right. Kieran, he says he hasn't seen enough TKV, but what I have seen hasn't impressed me. You see, I didn't just want to go in and say, yeah, he's got a chance. You know why? I had to stop myself. You know why? Because I actually know him. The Tottenham youth. I've seen him in the supermarket with his lady. And I want to see him do well. But he's a tough dude. Jamie's very tough. He's been in that Ben Davison gym for a little while. He sparred with Adelaide. Adelaide said he's tough. He sparred with Joshua. He's apparently pretty tough. He is pretty tough. And he's pretty rough as well. And he wouldn't have took this fight unless he believed he had a shot at it. But look, even though I've said all that, Adelaide more than likely will win. Mr. Pads, he says, I'm not going to lie, Beats. I haven't seen much of TKV. Maybe 2 or 3 fights or so. But I still think Adelaide gets him out of there. What, do you think it's going to be another, what's his name? Who's the kid he got rid of last time in a round? Solomon Dakers? Another Solomon Dakers? Have you guys hit the poll? Oh, Kieran picked Caballero. Wizard Sleeve, he says, Dubois will get caned again. Okay. Fish, he went for Parker, but Caballero should be up there. Guzzy, just voted for Parker. I think he's done enough for a shot. Mr. Pads, I believe that Caballero would be the most difficult fight for Usyk due to the vicious body punches Caballero throws, but I think Parker deserves it more than both, in my opinion. Brian Thompson, I think Caballero would be a good fight, Beats. Guzzy, AJ was Parker's last world title fight, I believe. That's a good point, Guzzy. That's a good point. It was. That was his last world title fight. Yeah. When was that? 2017 or 2018? Could be a 2018 job. Wizard Sleeves. Typical fish eyes heavyweight. Well, TKV is Ben Shalom boxer. Are you talking about David Adilier, typical fish eyes heavyweight? Wow. Fish, he's gone for Parker, but Caballero should be up there. Case K. Have you voted, Case? Have you voted? Let me share it again. Get on the poll if you can. Get on the poll. Big up Chris Caban. You hit the poll, Chris? What's good? Coppin 09 says, where does Matty Harris rank in the British mix? Well, his problem is he's fighting on Channel 5, and like, even though they get big audiences, the audience it's a complex situation. I don't think there are a lot of boxing fans watching them cards, so they're not going on Twitter and sharing their input on social media sites. He scored a good knockout yesterday. It was quite savage, you know. The left hook he hit the guy dropped like a brick. You heard the thump on the canvas. Yeah. He caught the guy with a big right first and staggered him. And then that left hook. Okay. We live, eat, sleep boxing. He's picked Caballero. Just want to see someone different for a change. I wouldn't mind seeing Caballero. I'm not going to lie. Cosenjo, he said Caballero. Case K. Yeah, it was 2017. 2017 when he fought Joshua. Brian Thompson says Parker only beats old men. He thinks that TKV wears him down. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, Wizards was talking about Dubois. Okay. Have you seen the poll yet, Case? I'll drop the poll again. I'll drop the poll. If you haven't voted yet. Let's get you in on the poll. Okay, big up Case for voting. Crescencio, he voted for Caballero. DJ Mikey, you spoke about the card yesterday. What one? There was one on Channel 5 and there was one on Sky. Case picked Parker. Coppin 09, Mr. Paz, do you think Caballero had the foot speed and footwork to close the gap, even against the version of Usyk, and actually land body punches on Usyk? Hey, Daniel Dubois and Derek Chisora did. And Caballero clearly had faster foot speed than Derek Chisora when they fought. Yeah, I reckon he could. I reckon he could. I reckon he'd do a decent job. Yeah, I reckon he'd do a decent job in closing down Usyk. He knows how to cut off a ring. Caballero knows how to cut off a ring. You know what I mean? I think he'd do okay. I think he'd do okay. I like to see Caballero. I'm with those who are picking up Caballero. DJ Mikey, another hype job. See, Coppin's right. Who's hyping him up? You can't say he's a hype job. He's not really getting no exposure in the discussion. He's not a hype job. How can he be a hype job? Who's as Coppin? Who's hyping him? He's actually quite talented. Matty is actually quite talented, and he's heavy-handed. He's got Peter Fury with him. But I'm not saying that he's going to be a world beater or a champion, but he's actually quite talented. In all truth. If you're new to the situation, big up Case for voting for Parker. Big up Dennis from Boston. Mr. Wait, I mean, you can't see how to vote? Go to the community page. It should be quite, should be a standard thing, really. Quite standard. All right, let me see once. You can't see where to vote. How can you not see where to vote? It's on the post. It's on the community page, and I've led you right to the community page. Go right to the top of the community page, and you have to see it. There's no way you cannot see it. Afro Jam voted Caballero. DJ Mikey, thoughts on Dan Tuwad and Harlem Eubank performance? He got knocked out by the Ghanaian, right, DJ Mikey? That punch was savage, man. He didn't see it coming, bro. The kid didn't see it coming, and he was a prospect. He didn't see it coming. The Ghanaian kid landed thunder. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
What's going on, B?
Yo, what's up, Chris?
So I picked Caballero on the vote.
You picked Caballero?
Yeah, I just want to see somebody different from Unchained get a shot.
Wow.
Yeah, and plus he can fight. I don't know why people don't think he can fight. I think he'll give Usyk some problems. Usyk some problems.
I think he'd give Usyk some problems. And I think he could get close enough to land the body shots, Coppin. I think he could.
They try to act like his footwork is crazy. I've seen a lot of people put hands on Michael Hunter, put hands on Usyk. I've seen a lot of people put Derek Chisora when landing punches on him.
Right. And we saw Caballero outspeed Derek Chisora. He had fought
Yeah.
If Derek can get there, I think Caballero can get there. I think he's got the chin, boxing ability. He's not scared to get hit. He won't buckle and fold like the Dubois who fought Usyk or the Dubois who fought Joyce. He's not going to fold like that.
Yeah,
As a style challenge, I would like to see Caballero.
Yeah, me too.
Ulix has gone for Ajit. Kieran says, smash the like button. You heard the man. Smash the like button.
I ain't talked to you in a while, but Bacoli pissed me off.
Why?
I don't know. I ain't expect him to get beat up like that.
Yeah,
people need to come and fight. People need to come and fight better shape too.
Got his head knocked off.
Same thing with Vic Bang Zhang. They need to come in better shape. You can't be almost 300 pounds coming to a boxing match.
Like, Zhang, I tell you what, man. He knew was going to aim for the body, but he was so ill prepared in terms of his ability to either block the body shots and take them. He folded up like a lamb.
I'm telling you what, somebody gonna go for his body from now on. Watch.
Yeah, they will, but can they do it as well as Caballero? Like Caballero is an expert
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
working the
Yeah.
liver.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like Zhang's strategy from the first round was to counter with his own body shots. He said, "Okay, you're gonna go to my body, I'll go to yours." But he couldn't keep it going. He couldn't keep it. You know, like that's not what he does. So he did it for a little bit of the first round, and then he reverted back to his high boxing, aiming his jab at the head, and he took his eye off the target. You know what I
Caballero
mean?
been impressing me lately, though.
Yeah, Caballero, he's doing some demolition jobs, isn't it?
Yeah, he be wolfing Frank Sanchez too.
What I liked about it was when he hit the canvas. Yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't back up or anything. He just kept going. Like he didn't let nothing phase him. Nothing phased him at all. Got back off the canvas and dealt with Zhang. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about Harlem's performance. He did well, but like I said, Tyrone McKenna looked like he was on a cider. You know what I mean? Looked like he was on a cider to me. But one thing I'll say, Harlem at 147, his legs look a lot stronger. So we need to see who he fights next. Like his uncle, Senior, is still pushing for that Conor Ben fight, but I don't see it happening. And Senior is still saying that Junior and the Ben fight is not going to happen. He's adamant that fight's not going to happen. And he does have some strange insights, but they're normally pretty much on point, his insights. So I'm not sure if the fight does happen. Because I'm looking at Junior and Ben Shalom, and the way like Junior was moaning and moaning about the rematch clause in the press conference, moaning. And Ben Shalom, oh, maybe the British Boxing Board of Control are going to look at the rematch clause. I mean, the rehydration clause. Listen, if you sign for a rehydration clause, yeah, if you sign for a rehydration clause, you can't expect it to be at 12 p.m. midnight. The rehydration clause is going to be done 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. That's when it's going to happen. That's when it's going to happen. You get what I'm saying? Simple as that. What is easy work for Usyk? Caballero, Sylvester. Okay. You think Caballero is easy work for Usyk? It could be.
I
Afro
don't.
Jam says Caballero can fight on the front and the back foot. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Wizard Sleeve. He says women's boxing is dire. Force fed clap. Wow, that's hard. That's hard. So you didn't watch Natasha Jonas and Lauren Price? To be honest, Natasha looked all of her 40 years yesterday. You know what I mean? She looked like she could have been doing her knitting. You know what I mean? Yeah, I said it. That's insensitive, but she looked like she's ready for the knitting needle and easier life now. She looked old in there. She looked old and slow. Every time she tried to launch that southpaw left hand, Lauren saw it coming a mile off and just pivoted off and just left her in molasses. She was just left stuck in molasses all night. Horrible performance from Natasha Jonas. It was. I thought she'd do better. I thought it'd be more evenly contested. But did you see? Hey, Lauren Price looked like she looked like a bodybuilder compared to Tasha, man. She looked brolic, bruh. She looked brolic.
Beast, where you find that picture at of Ben and Eubank?
That picture,
Yeah.
well, it's from their press conference in the 80s.
Eubank's
Well,
looking
in the
like
90s. And then I photoshopped it and put the Coliseum behind him.
Chris Eubanks look like Yapit Kodo, the actor in that photo.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Wow. Guzzy, Ajit, the Liver King. Brian Thompson, do you think Senior knows something? Tell you what, man. I don't know. Kieran says, I think Caballero has to be a little fitter than he was against Zhang. His gas tank usually looks good, but against Zhang, he didn't look as fit as he usually does. Maybe it was due to Zhang's size.
Y'all don't want to get
Hey,
y'all don't want to get
how did he
Caballero.
look fit? What are you talking about? Like, hey,
Y'all
look.
don't want to get.
Go, Chris. Go.
They don't want to get Caballero no credit. Y'all had like, what was y'all saying there? The later rounds when Joshua start beating up Usyk in the second fight.
Explain what was wrong with his conditioning, because he punched non-stop for that fight, and when he got knocked down, he kept his punch volume up. Explain to me what you mean by that comment. You don't have to, but you can do it in the comment section. But I've left the link. Explain like his conditioning. Like, I'm not being funny.
They don't want to get that man.
It don't make much sense. What you said there don't make much sense. I was gonna keep it real. It don't make much sense. It don't make much sense. He beat him. He beat my guy with his conditioning. He beat Zhang with his strategy and conditioning.
It looked like the other guy needed conditioner.
Yeah. Mr. Doc. You want to link Mr. Doc?
I ain't heard from Mr. Doc in mad years.
Because we're getting off in an hour because I don't have I don't have a streaming allowance with them. You know what I mean? Like, they took the money out of my bank. I said, "Nah, you can't do that." I mean, I have to get a refund. I didn't like the way they did that. So I've got an hour to get busy.
I'll pay for the last card though, Beats.
Mr. Doc says Caballero is a problem for all the top heavyweights. Sorry, Chris. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead, Beats. I just was saying fight sport talk here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me on, Beats.
All right. When you got fight sports talk, what you got?
Well, are we just talking about who Olexandr Usyk will fight next?
Well, there's a few topics on deck. We can start there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've talked about it. I don't think anyone's surprised that Tanker Roach isn't getting overturned. I mean, I spoke to Rick Glazer yesterday, which I'll be uploading to my channel, and there's a possibility that they might succeed with a lawsuit, but I mean, I don't know how long Roach's team will be prepared to go through with that, because lawsuits are never fun. I hope Turkey's joking about Bivol Benavidez, not about him not putting that on, because it was shocking what he said. But yeah, I think Usyk's going to fight Dubois, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a New Zealander. I don't know if Dubois actually got sick or if they pulled a fast one, but either way, I think it's a bit of a punk move, what they did with Joseph Parker. But hey, this is boxing, so it is what it is. I mean, they're going to fight Dubois, even though that punch was low, and yeah, that is what it is. I want Parker to fight Caballero, and ideally the winner fights Usyk, but Usyk doesn't have to hang around much longer.
Okay, interesting. So you basically want to see Caballero next? Did you say?
Yeah, I'd like to see Parker. Ideally, I'd like to see Parker fight Usyk, but they're not going to do it. I mean, Frank Warren, he's basically treating Parker like a side piece. So
no, let's forget about what Frank wants to do. What do you want? That all I'm interested in is what everybody in the chat wants to see. I want to see Caballero. Who do you want to see?
I'd like to see Parker. He's the one with the best resume, in my opinion.
Okay, all right. Mr. Doc, who would you like to see, Mr. Doc?
I'm on the Caballero train. I'm on the Caballero bandwagon, whatever you want to call it. I have been for some time, Beats. I've been telling people this guy is going to be a problem for everybody. Not saying he beats everybody, but no easy outs. You get what I mean? He ain't going to be an easy out for nobody.
So what is it you like about Ajit Caballero, Mr. Doc? What do you like?
the first thing that strikes me is he's one of them guys that can do everything. I keep telling you the parallel, and I'm going to keep drawing it. I don't care if it irritates. He reminds me of Jimmy Young, physically unassuming, but can do everything. Come forward, fight in the pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was Jimmy Young. Jimmy Young could do everything. He could do everything.
Exactly. He could go
he didn't have a big punch, but he could do everything.
Exactly. And he didn't have no problems with bigger fighters. Didn't just beat Ron Lyle twice. Beat him up in the pocket beats.
And
beat him up in the pocket.
You know what? I tell you what, right? When I used to read the boxing magazines when I was a kid, Mr. Doc, I always thought, yo, man, Jerry Cooney destroyed Jimmy Young. But you watch the fight, right? Jimmy gives him some good shots, right?
He puts some hands on. It's the cut. It's the cut that he gets. Yeah. Jimmy's skills are nice, bro. Man can both. My main point is they just are. They are. I guess you might call them naturally gifted fighters. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I said, they both have that physically unassuming thing going on, right? But hey, you know what I mean? How many big of these lumbering lummoxes does he got to tear through before, like Chris said, people want to give him credit?
Yeah, exactly.
But he's not just beating them beats; he's beating them up. He's beating them up.
He's destroying them. He's literally destroying them. Literally destroying them. You know what I mean? Like, the biggest revelation to me, I'm going to hand the mic over in a minute, is when he fought, who's the big Russian guy? Makhmudov.
Yeah.
Because I said, okay, the last time I remember this guy, he was a back foot boxer. He used to like using the ring. Hey, I was like, what's he doing? This thing is standing right in front of him. He stood right in front of him and deconstructed him. I was like, whoa, what was that?
Dude, he made Makhmudov look like less than a novice. Like he'd come off the street. You know what I mean? Like the skill gap was just ridiculous. And he was considered I don't want to say hot prospect, but a prospect.
They were, hey, listen, some people were saying this guy's a monster. That's what they were saying. And he wrecked him. He wrecked him.
Exactly.
I tell you what, yeah. You see, after that card, that was the fight I watched. I watched that performance about 3 or 4 times after. I said, "Whoa, this guy is." Because, like I said, he revamped his style, man. Revamped it. Chris Caban, what you got? What you going to introduce into the conversation next for us?
I want to talk about the past fight because I ain't even talked to y'all guys. I want to talk about. We could talk about whatever.
Tank Davis. What's your take on the Tank Davis Lamont Roach fight, Chris?
I'm gonna tell you personally, Beats. I don't think they was gonna give that guy the fight because they were like people that were saying in the comments, oh. Tank, I mean, he didn't do enough. Tank didn't throw a lot of punches in the beginning either. Tank is a notoriously slow starter, so that tells me no matter what that dude did, they wasn't gonna give him that fight. I thought Tank lost though.
Like, was you expecting that fight to be easy for Tank, or did you think Lamont Roach could put up the effort he put up?
I'll be honest with some told me to watch. I wasn't gonna watch it. Some told me to watch it. I thought because watching the Jamal Herring fight and Lamont Roach, I did not expect him to do that.
Wow. Yo, Mr. Doc, what was your take on that fight?
Oof, like. Oh my God! Like so many. Okay, number one, it not every time, but I'd say 75% of the time a fighter turns his back, they get stopped. Right, TKO. That's one. Never mind the knockdown. Never mind the knockdown or the points. Right, he turned his back. It's not even an argument. Like if you want to, go parliamentary procedure.
Right.
It's a TKO, okay? If you want parliamentary procedure, when his corner man reaches into the ring, all right, without the ref, well, it's either a TKO when he turned his back or when the second comes
disqualification.
Disqualification. It's like, what's even going on here? Right?
lost all three, disqualification or knockdown.
All in one moment, exactly. All in one sequence. All in one sequence. But look, and I mean, I think. Look, I understand why Tank gets a lot of heat for his opponent selection, but the dude's talented. But so I never thought. I thought he would struggle a little with Roach stylistically. I've seen Roach fight a few times outside of the Jamel Herring performance, where I thought he looked, like he could handle himself, right? But no, I didn't expect that at all. In the second half of that fight, he got beaten up beats. That's what I saw. He got beaten up.
And he got wobbled quite a few times too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mr. Fight. Fight Sport. What's your take? Like you told us something about it earlier. Then what was your take on it?
Well, it was. I've watched that fight once. It took me a few days to watch it and score it because I didn't even feel passionate about it because it was such a horrible robbery because of the 9th round. But I don't see how you can score that fight for Tank. And I've been on a few shows where they're big Tank fans. So hey, we disagree, but I don't see how you can score it for him. That's just in terms of rounds. And you take away the 9th round, or you look at the 9th round where the ref started counting. Tank gets up, he stops counting, he goes to the corner, he sticks his head out. The corner man wipes his face. All fouls that should have led to him being DQ'd. It's crazy. So, but the commissions need integrity to overturn these things, and they don't have integrity. So, it's disappointing, but I don't think it's surprising that it's not being overturned. Maybe they do the rematch. And again, I spoke to Rick Glazer for an hour, and that's going to be uploaded to my channel. He said that he has advised Roach to sue the commission, not Tank. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. But I mean, lawsuits are painful, so I don't think they'll want to stick to it. So it was a horrible robbery, but it's not surprising that it didn't get overturned. So it is what it is.
Sorry, let me just get in there before you go off. I was not going to even cover the fight. Then somebody on Twitter from across the pond said, I follow your channel and you haven't said anything about this fight. And he was asking why. He says, do your due diligence and cover the fight. And I listened, fuck that, man. But I thought about what he's saying. And then I started researching Lamont Roach. And then I watched the whole of the Jamel Herring fight. He nearly knocked Jamel Herring out, right? He floored Hector Garcia, and he's pretty good. He's a pretty good fighter, right? But he's matured a lot since the Herring loss. And I think the time that when they were pushing the fight date back, he's matured into a full 135-pounder. And he gave Tank all he needed. And I had someone on the channel saying, oh, Tank's going to be bigger and better next time. No, Roach is going to be even better next time. And he knocked Gervonta Davis out. He will knock him out.
I'll tell you what.
And
can go ahead and respond, and then I'll say I got something.
Well, I was just going to say, there's not. I don't think it's surprising that the fight was competitive because I looked at Roach before the fight, and I thought if this guy can avoid getting caught by Tank's left hands to the body and going down, which is what most of Tank opponents do, then he could make it competitive. So, and plus these guys they've sparred and fought as amateurs, so that honestly wasn't surprising to me. But the problem I have is that people are acting like about that Lamont Roach is some world beater when no, he was a weak. Maybe he'll be a great champion at super featherweight, but as of right now, he's not. He was just a placeholder. The Hector Garcia win is the only good one he has. If you lose to Jamal Herring the way he did, then so my issue is
no. I have to disagree with that, right? Jamal Herring is a good fighter. I have to disagree with that. He's a good fighter, right? And that was 5 years ago. That's 5 years ago. I have to disagree with that. And he hurt Herring really, really badly in that fight, but he just got into his stride too late. I have to disagree with that. You can't hold a loss, a points loss against a young fighter 5 years ago. That's 5 years back.
But Beats. I'm not saying he's garbage. I'm saying that okay, he lost to Jamal Herrick. I'm just giving you reasons
That's one loss. That's the one loss. Wait. That's the one loss of his career. The one loss.
That's
right.
True, but Beats,
it's over 5 years ago.
But Beats, I'm just giving you context as to why Roach is not people are acting like he's elite all of a sudden. He's not. So I'm just saying that.
How do you know? How do you know?
Because of his record.
What's his record? He's lost one fight.
Not only that, but he's only
Davis. Listen. He may not be a great 135 pounder, but we don't know. We've got to give him the rematch. We've got to see what he does next. You can't just say he's not going to beat. All right, that's your opinion. Fair enough. You can have that opinion. But if you're going to base it on the Jamal Herrick fight, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
The Hector Garcia. Okay.
Yeah, he beat Hector Garcia. He knocked him down in the last round. He beat Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia is a tough opponent, bro. Hector Garcia is not easy to beat.
That's true, right? But I'm just
the only person who really beat up Hector Garcia was Tank, and even Hector Garcia was hitting Tank quite a bit. I remember he was getting through, but Tank, he done what he had to do. So, yeah, it was 6 years ago. Afro Jam. It's 6 years ago. That's ages ago. That's ages.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Lamont Roach is rubbish. I'm just saying he's not elite right now. Maybe he'll go on to be elite, but I'm just saying before the fight, people were disappointed that because he was not like an elite champion at super featherweight. Maybe he'll be that, but as of right now, he's not. So I'm just saying that.
Did you watch the defense he made against McCrory?
I did see that.
Because he looked bloody good in that one. I tell you that now. He looked really good in that one. He looked good.
That's true, but McCrory's just a prospect. McCrory's just a prospect.
We can only go by who he's for. He destroyed that was his defense. It was a voluntary defense. He destroyed him. He battered him. And look what he done with Tank.
What surprised me about him, Beats, he stood in front of Tank the whole fight. He backed Tank up. He got a pretty good chin too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if they do, I think any what would you call it, legal measures that he tries to take are really going to be, the real intent of them is to try and force the rematch. That's point one. Point two I wanted to make is going into the first fight, Roach may have had belief that he could, beat Tank or hang with Tank, however you want to rate. But now he knows Beats. You know what I mean? He knows what he's got in front of him.
Like I'll be honest, I thought Tank was going to stop him, but I think this could be tougher than what a lot of people think. I thought Tank, but he didn't even really hurt Lamont. He did. And has Lamont ever been? Yeah, who dropped Lamont? Has anyone dropped Lamont? Jamel did drop him early. Jamel did drop him early in the fight. I think Jimmy,
But even then, he was never in danger of being stopped. Though.
Yeah, that was like a flash knock now.
Right.
And that's kind of like if we're being honest, there's been quite a few Tank fights. Heck, going all the way back to the Pedraza fight, he was getting outboxed, and he bailed him. The power bailed him out.
Yes, he was.
Hey, Beats, do you think this is
Dio Benuli, sorry, that Chris. He's saying Tank's team stopped the Hector Garcia fight between rounds. Like we said, there's a brief case full of cash exchange between the rounds. I can't remember how it ended, but I know Garcia was doing okay in that fight. He was doing all right for a little while. You know what I mean? And Afro Jam says McCrory was a contender, not a prospect. So, like, Lamont is a deep Lamont. I tell you what, right? I was doing my research and I saw Barry Hunter talking, and I trust Barry Hunter. He said a lot of people don't know about Lamont, but Lamont is a very good fighter, right? Well, you have to understand, right? Them kids who grew up in that Maryland circuit, that's a tough circuit, and he always held his own and did well.
That's
You know
like
what I
a
mean?
Philly
Who's fighter?
circuit. That's like a Philly circuit. That's kind of
That's,
like a Philly
that's
circuit.
where Sugar Ray Leonard came from, right?
Right,
That
right,
Maryland
right,
circuit.
exactly. Simon Brown, is that Simon Brown? Maryland?
Oh yeah. Big puncher, Simon Brown.
What's my man name? Sean B. Mitchell came from that area too.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
Vincent?
yeah.
Was Vincent Pet? Hey, Command. I know you're gonna know exactly what fight I'm talking. Was Vincent Petway from that circuit too? Was he from that area too? Wasn't that when him?
Remember that, though.
I want to say him and Simon Brown was like had like a regional
I know
rivalry.
it. Yeah. I think Maurice Barker and Simon Brown.
Yeah.
They was from the same area.
Where's Hassan Rutman from? Is he from around the area?
Yeah, he from DC. He from DC.
Yeah, hey, this is a tough little circuit, man. Tough little circuit. And see, I was watching the skill set. I said, yo, he can do that finish him all right, you know. He can roll it and he can catch and shoot. He can do quite a few things in there, Lamont. He's not bad. Like we have to at least see how he does in the next fights he has, and then we can say.
Beast, I'm surprised you ain't say about your man Mike Too Short Johnson from there area.
Who's that?
Oh shit!
Mike,
Is he from? He's from there, huh?
Mike Too Short Johnson.
Mark Johnson, you mean?
Yeah, Mark Johnson.
No, nickname was
Too sharp. Yeah.
God, how he held down. What was that? Was it 122, 126?
Yeah, 122, I think.
Yeah, he held that down for years. It seemed like he held that down.
Rafael Marquez got to put the hands on it. Was it Marquez?
Yeah, but he had that like he was older then, but he had that damn shit he had that shit on lock for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, too sharp.
Meldrick Taylor is Philly. Meldrick Taylor is Philly, Simon Bird. He's Philly.
Yeah, he's from Philly.
Yeah,
you could throw Pernell Winnicker in there because that's from Virginia. That's right there, Beats. I used to live in Virginia. All that's right together.
Okay. Where's that? What
Virginia, DC, and Maryland, that's close. They call that the DMV.
Same region. Yeah. Same region.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they call that the DMV.
Okay.
Yeah, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Yeah. So that's like a circuit. You gotta be on your P's and Q's to come fight out there. You pretty good if you be making the net circuit.
Yeah. Tough little circuit, man. You know what I mean? Like
Ronald Rinky, right? Originally from DC too.
Florida, right? Florida.
Nah, he's originally from DC. He's from DC. He moved to Florida.
Oh, I didn't know that. Didn't know that
either. Yeah, man. And here's another thing. Like Roach has been, how to put it? He's had to fight whoever he's had to fight. He hasn't had the luxuries, let's say, of someone in Tank's position.
Yeah. Hey, listen, like he can handle himself between the ropes. He could definitely handle himself. You know what I mean? But we have to see. Well, like I'm not saying he's going to be the next Duran or anything. I'm not going there. But I think he can beat Tank in a rematch. I definitely think he can yoke Tank up in that rematch.
Hey, Beats, you heard what Shakur said. Shakur had him in training camp. Shakur said before the fight he was going to get Tank problems.
Yeah, he did. Few people said it. You know what I mean?
Look, before the knockout, what's his name? Frank Martin was giving him problems. That was just the fight before, right?
What's that Mexican dude that came all the way up from 2 weight classes that was beating him before he got caught with that uppercut?
Oh,
Leo Santa Cruz was giving him a lot of problems.
Leo.
Well, he didn't like that because Leo throws so many damn punches. That was the problem there.
I tell you what. Lamont wouldn't win more than 3 rounds against Shakur.
Yeah.
Oh no,
that's true.
No.
Can I throw this out there? The thing that was most shocking about the fight was that Tank's power didn't have an effect on Roach. Now, I've seen some people say that maybe Tank was pulling his punches, which I don't know if that's true. But Tank, I think it's pretty obvious that Tank wasn't motivated for the fight. Now, I'm not making excuses. Well, here's
That's
the
an
thing,
excuse, though.
I'm not making excuses for him. It's just, but I mean, it's similar to Tyson Fury against Otto Wallen. Tyson Fury looked like garbage in that fight, but
Could he just look? Could he just look bad though?
Yeah, he looked bad because it was a combination of shitty performance and styles make fights, man. Otto was all wrong for Fury stylistically.
Yeah, but Fury also kind of got. Well, again, I'm not making excuses for Tank, but I'm asking this question: is it possible that Tank was being serious this time about retirement? Because again, he looked disinterested in the fight, and for once, his power didn't. I mean, Pitbull Cruz was able to take his power because he was a short guy, compact, and those guys are hard to land clean on.
Go back. Okay, I got
toe-to-toe with him. He stood toe-to-toe with him the whole fight and back Tank up.
Yeah. And
here's my take on it, right? If he wasn't serious, that's his problem.
That's
what I'm.
That's his problem.
Let me address let me bring in material evidence to respond to what you're saying. Go back to the 9th round, all right, and watch what happens after all the kerfuffle with the knockdown that doesn't end up a knockdown, the DQ, etc. That isn't a DQ. Tank hits him with everything but including the kitchen sink.
Yeah, I saw it.
And still can't budge him. All right, it is what it is. It might be, maybe it's familiarity, like Beats alluded to, the fact that they came up in the same amateur circuit, etc. They, you know what I mean? They've sparred and so on and so forth. But whatever you want to put it down to, Tank's power couldn't bail him out. He couldn't bail him out that night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So is it possible that Tank, because again of his power and he looked like he wasn't motivated for the fight? Is it possible he actually is?
No. What I'm trying to say is,
hold on.
Listen, I'm saying he was clearly motivated after the whole kerfuffle with the ref when he started. Throwing every power shot in the book. Because he couldn't get him out of there. When he couldn't get him out of there, then he became disheartened. That's my case.
Well, maybe he was for fighting a better fighter, like Rolly Romero was asked.
Well, that's what I was going to ask was: is it possible that he actually is looking at retirement? Because the PBC is on its deathbed. The PBC is not going to be around much longer. He has made it clear he doesn't want to go over to.
Yeah, but he ain't He ain't really been fighting no world beaters though. That's what I'm asking.
I'll tell you what. I'm not gonna pick my brain to say, oh, Tank, wasn't motivated or he's gonna retire. He done the best he could, and Lamont cleared him up. I didn't have Tank winning more than 3 to 4 rounds. So as far as I'm concerned, right, if they rematch, he loses again. I think he was motivated as much as he could be. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Maybe he found his ceiling. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Maybe he found his ceiling.
Or it could just be a bad, sometimes there's just that guy that is always
sometimes, sometimes it's like Doc said, sometimes it's just that guy. You know what I mean? See, to me, the 9th round was a knockdown. He could say, because he got hit with a right hand to the cheek first, right, in the 9th. There was a few punches. And then that jab hit him, and then you see him look at the referee and say, yo, can you stop this guy punching me up? He's not supposed to do this. And then he looked for the knee, and when he hurt the count, then he ran over to his cornerman, and then they should have been disqualified. He panicked. He panicked when he saw Lamont Roach was getting on top of him. He panicked. Lamont Roach had his number.
That's what it looked like to me, too. That's what it looked like to me, too.
That's what it comes down to. There's no point me assessing Tank's mental state. Why would I do that? He went in there like Lamont went in there to fight. He didn't say Tank didn't claim no injuries. If Tank's gonna retire, you go retire. That's not to me. I can't really put too much stock into that.
Well, again, I'm not. People need to understand. I didn't bring this up to make excuses for Tank. I'm not even a big Tank fan, but I'm just asking. I'm just asking the question: is it possible he may actually be looking at retirement? Because again, the PBC is on its deathbed. They're not going to be around much longer. He's made it clear he's not going to go over to Saudi. So, I mean, so therefore, if he's not going to have the PBC, then and he's not going to Saudi, then maybe he does want to retire. In which case, maybe we can throw out the idea of the Shakur fight altogether. Because again, maybe this is a sign that he's not interested in the sport, because he's never tried to unify with anyone. I mean, they tried last year with Lomachenko after avoiding the fight for so long. So I'm just saying, like, people talk about rematch, etc. Maybe we don't get the rematch. Maybe he just retires.
Did anyone see Gary Antoine Russell? I didn't see that fight.
I did. I saw that, and I was impressed with Russell.
All right. I thought he would win that one, actually. I didn't think he would win that.
He was. I thought that Valenzuela was an easy touch at first, but then I looked at how Valenzuela had come back from defeat against De Los Santos, and how Russell looked very one-dimensional in his defeat against Puello. So yeah, I was intrigued for that fight. Russell impressed me. I want to see Russell fight all the other champions. I want to see him fight Hitchens. I want to see him fight Lopez. I don't know if those fights are going to happen. But yeah, no, I was impressed with Antoine Russell.
Yeah, I definitely was impressed.
You impressed yet, Chris?
Yeah, I didn't expect him to smash Rayo up like that though.
All right.
I'll tell you who I want to see him. I want to see him against, whether there's a belt or not. I want to see him against. Oh God, I'm spacing now. What's my man's name? He lost to not Puello, but the other guy.
Sando. No, Sando.
No. He fought the Russian guy 2 times.
I don't know. It'll probably come to someone in a minute.
Puncher guy. Ah, God, I can't believe I'm spacing on the name. It's killing me.
What about Sandor? When you get it, Doc, let us know. What about Sandor Martin versus?
I thought that was a close fight.
Yeah, they think it was Puello.
Very close.
Puello.
Yeah. I thought Puello was gonna win. I mean, 2 slick southpaws. I didn't think the fight would be exciting either, but no, it was a lot better than that. And yeah, I thought because of youth and because of athleticism, Puello would win decisively, but he didn't. Martin, I got to stop writing this guy off. Martin, he was impressive. So yeah, Puello. Maybe it was just a style thing, but Puello didn't look like he didn't look like he's going to be dominant in this weight class. And I thought slick southpaw. What he did to Russell was impressive, but yeah, here he looked kind of. Martin looked like the more confident fighter.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. I want to. They probably gonna do a rematch now, but I think Antoine Russell looked scared that day.
Subriel, that's the guy. Subriel Matias.
I saw his fight. I saw he fought last week as well.
I want to see Russell. Yeah. I want to see Russell and Subriel Matias. That's gonna be a fight. You know what I mean? Worth watching.
He need a rematch to do that whoop them.
I'll tell you, the fight that I want to see is Dimitri Bivol against. I want to see both the trilogy with Beterbiev, but I also want to see David Benavidez. I think Benavidez is super. I think he's going to be fantastic. Which is why I was shocked to see what Turkey Al-Sheikh said.
Oh, okay. Now we have to disagree on something, but that's okay.
What?
I'm sorry, David Benavidez. Benavidez. You really believe David Benavidez has a snowball's chance in hell against Dimitri Bivol?
I'm picking him to beat Bivol. What are you talking about?
Oh my God!
What? Are you serious? Hold up.
Hold up.
Time out. Just give me 1 sec. Look, I'm a huge fan of Dimitri Bivol. Okay, love the guy. Got nothing but love for the guy and respect. But So here's the thing. I'm not saying it's a one-sided fight. It's very competitive. But are you serious that you think Benavidez doesn't have a chance? Like, are you crazy? Sorry to, no disrespect, but are you crazy?
No. I don't know.
This is a competitive fight.
No,
I just don't think he got.
Benavidez is going to be lucky to win a round.
I just don't think he's
no.
Is going
Time
to be lucky to win a round against
Sorry,
Bivol.
sorry.
Can I say something for a minute?
Yeah.
I just don't think he's the same guy he was at 168 because he seems like he don't have no power at this weight class.
Well, I agree with that. He's not he's not a puncher here. But sorry, man. Who's saying that? I can't see the
one. No, Mr.
panel.
Doc, I'm the one calling him the Mexican mummy. He's the Mexican mummy.
Well,
my man comes in square on, wide open. Bivol will pick him apart like nobody's business.
Okay.
Easy.
Sorry. I got to disagree with you. Look, maybe Bivol wins, but if you honestly think this fight ain't competitive, I'm sorry, but you don't know what you're looking at. Benavidez, this guy is not your average pressure fighter. Now, I agree he's not a puncher at this weight class, and I wasn't impressed with his performance against Vozdek. But I was impressed with many things that he did against David Morrell. So if you
David
think
Morrell
this fight
almost gave him a damn concussion too. He could.
No, he didn't.
You see his face after the fight.
David Morrell won about 3 rounds in that fight. Okay, it was competitive, but Morrell was dangerous. I'm not saying
arguably a 12-fight novice. It has to be pointed out. Arguably,
Morrell's better than Morrell. Just because he had 11 fights, it doesn't mean he was like a novice. I mean,
Hold on. One sec. He wasn't a novice with 11 fights, and like he struggled against Hot Rod before that. Who did he fight? Like, who's he fought for him not to be a novice? 11 fights. Who's on his resume? Name these people he fought then.
Okay, I'm not saying that he was like this elite contender.
You said he wasn't a novice. So tell me who he fought to suggest he wasn't a novice with 11 fights. You said that. You said he was a novice.
I will just okay. Give me 2 seconds because this is where it gets a little tricky. Okay, he doesn't have other top contenders on his resume yet, but that's because they wouldn't fight him. I mean, Berlanga shamelessly ducked this guy, and he got the early opportunity to become the regular WBA champion, so he should have been the mandatory. Like guys like Munguia had fought better competition than him, but if you look at David Morrell's skills, and again, based on how he was beating a lot of these guys like Atlantis Fox and Ados.
Atlantis Fox is a middleweight, bro, who got knocked out by what's the Welsh guy's name?
Liam Williams.
Liam Williams, yeah. Atlantis Fox, seriously, Atlantis Fox? That impressed me.
Hold on. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying when I said David Morrell's not a novice would suggest a guy who hadn't been challenged yet. Now, he had fought undefeated.
No, he hadn't been challenged though. He hadn't been challenged. Like, to me, we was watching the Hot Rock fight on the Crawford Madrimov bill, and most of us had Hot Rod winning.
Really?
Yes, we did.
Okay, well, I'll have to rewatch that fight then. Again, I'm not saying that he did not have a resume stacked with fellow contenders, but one of the reasons is because the other contenders didn't fight him. Like, Berlanga shamelessly ducked this guy. Munguia, I mean, he ducked so many guys before, and he got the fight with Canelo because Canelo was ducking the best contenders. So if you look at it, if you put context into it, and the way he beat fellow prospects like Yibos Nuli when they fought, because he only had 8 fights at that time, Morrell is better than your average 11-0 contender. That's what I'm saying.
Look, here's how I see it. Yeah, I respect your opinion. You talk to your opinion. Yeah, but David Benavidez 175 does not beat probably the best boxer in the sport, and he's not shown no deterioration. Bivol, he doesn't beat him.
No, but Bivol's shown no.
But we have to wait. Like, he's the mandatory. We'll wait. We'll wait. Maybe you could possibly give him a tough fight. You know what I mean?
That fight's very tough.
Oh, I
fight's
know.
very tough.
I don't even. I'm sorry. I disagree. Even with. I don't even think it's a tough fight. Have you seen the way David Benavidez fights? He comes in square on, swinging wide hooks. Right. No jab to speak of. No footwork to speak of. Against, like Beats just said, arguably the best, textbook boxer in the game right now. Are you kidding
Can I respond to that?
Yeah,
Can I respond to
absolutely.
that?
That's what I'm hoping for as a response. Exactly. I'm just
Okay.
I see.
People can check my record. I've been on multiple shows. A lot of them Canelo fans. I've been saying, so they don't like David Benavidez. I've been saying he does need to improve his footwork. He can't square up the way he does or cross his feet. But I think he can do that because he made improvements against the Vosdick performance was poor in my opinion, based on how old Vosdick was, and he was semi-retired. The Morel performance, he made improvements, so I think he can improve his footwork. And okay, he does get hit, and he doesn't have good head movement, but he can punch. He's got decent power, and I'm sure he's got more power than Bivol.
Can I be honest with you, right? You're not making a compelling case. You're not making that's just you're just making a compelling case. But look, we'll have to. He will be an overwhelming underdog against such a boxer of Bivol's. So, for you to make this assessment, you can't really rate Bivol as a boxer then.
What? Of course I rate Bivol. Bivol's amazing.
So how are we making this assessment that he beats that? I don't know. Hey,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Beats much respect.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah, sorry. Beats much respect, but I'm making a case because stars make fights. I mean, here's a okay. He needs to correct his footwork. He doesn't move his head well, but those are his faults. Let me talk. I mean, here's some things that Benavidez does really well, which I think will beat Bivol. He pushes a high pace. He pushes a higher pace than Beterbiev. Beterbiev is a better fighter than him. I want to make that clear. But Benavidez pushes a higher pace.
You're going to push a high pace against Bivol? Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, because okay, if he doesn't, he's going to lose. But I think he will.
Yeah, he's going to lose. Listen, trust me, bro. Trust me.
Beats, I'm making my case.
Trust me. Right? Ramirez thought he was going to throw a lot of punches against Bivol as well. And when he went in there, his punch volume went down.
Okay,
I've
answered this.
When you fight boxers who can pivot off your power hand, you can't just be throwing like that no more. They take away your ability to throw volume. That's what Bivol does.
Zurdo Ramirez had fought nobody. He hadn't proven himself.
I'll tell you what, Zurdo Ramirez has fought just as tough opposition. He's got a better resume than Beterbiev. He has a better resume.
Yes, he does. He's got a better
He's got a better resume than Beterbiev, yeah? He's currently the cruiserweight champion, right? He was a super middleweight champion, right? He's got a better resume.
Beats, he now has a better resume, but before the fight with Bivol, he had fought nobody. So
no, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. No. See, this is where you're framing your debate wrong, right?
I mean, hang on.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying, right? When you're making these debates, you can't say at the time he had beaten no one. You've got to look at the appreciation of his career, right? Since Bivol washed him, he's become a cruiserweight champion. A cruiserweight champion and be a decent champion as well.
That's true. But can I?
Right?
But that's true. But Zurdo, okay, he's proven himself to be a very worthy champion, and that's one of the best wins on Bivol's resume. But no, you said earlier I don't rate Bivol. I rate Bivol very highly. But again, I've said this to Mol. I mean, put it this way: the toughest, aside from De La Hoya, who had more success than people realize, the toughest fights for Floyd Mayweather were Castillo and Maidana. Now, the only fight he lost was the first Castillo fight. That one, Castillo got robbed. But aside from that, Floyd had tough times.
Castillo didn't get robbed. He didn't get robbed. It was a close fight. He didn't get robbed. He didn't get robbed. It was a close fight.
I thought Castillo won the first fight. But anyway,
he didn't get robbed. Mayweather didn't. He didn't get robbed. It was close.
All right. Floyd showed his class. But anyway, the guys who gave Floyd the toughest fights, aside from De La Hoya, were guys who pressured Floyd. Slow guys. I mean, Maidana was slow, but they pressured him repeatedly. Benavidez, so how do you beat a guy like Bivol, who's an excellent pure boxer? You have to pressure him. Benavidez can do that. Benavidez throws punches from different angles. He doesn't start off with the same punch sequence. I've said this multiple times. He leads off with different combinations. He can punch decently. He can defend pretty decently when you're on the inside. And Bivol doesn't fight on the inside. Benavidez does. So these are just reasons. I'm saying the fight's competitive, but it's just
sparring session.
No.
Sparring
I never beats. I never mentioned the sparring.
I'm telling you now, that fight is a sparring session. I'm telling you now.
No.
Oh yeah. He's saying
sparring session. It's a sparring session. And I tell you what, right? I tell you what. Before we get there, right? He's got to get through Callum Smith first. Bivol, got to get through Callum first.
Benavidez will beat Callum. Look, Callum Smith proved me wrong again.
Now that he might do. He might now see. That's a more realistic proposition.
Can I finish?
Yeah. No. Sorry. I was just.
Yeah. No. Callum Smith. Shout out to them beats. I said on your show. I thought Buatsi was going to wash Callum Smith, and yeah, you showed me some. You gave me some very interesting info about Buatsi. So hats off to Smith. He proved me wrong. But style wise, Smith always does poorly against pressure fighters. So Benavidez will beat him in my opinion. I think Benavidez, again, the fight with Bivol is competitive. Maybe he loses. Maybe, look, I rate Bivol very highly, but it's just you guys seem to think that I'm smoking De La Hoya's stuff to say that he wins.
Only as it pertains to this specific, whatever you want to call it, matter or point, which is how competitive Benavidez, Bivol. Everything else you've said has been perfectly reasonable, whether I agree or not. But this one, yeah, you are on the De La Coca stuff, okay? I mean, I'm sorry, in my opinion. But I hate to, now, in my defense, right, I have been saying, this is not like, me just coming up with this. I've been saying for years now, I've been calling Benavidez the Mexican mummy. All right? I've never been impressed with it.
Okay, well.
Never been impressed with anything about it. Comes in, like I said, swinging wide, left and right, square on, no footwork. All it's going to take is somebody with some ability, all right? And Bivol's got the requisite ability in spades. He's going to pick them apart. That's again, like you said, about your own opinion. It's an opinion. This is my opinion, right?
Yeah, but I'm not making this up. People think, because I've been on a lot of shows that don't rate Benavidez. People think I'm saying this just to say it. I'm not. Like, I think Benavidez wins. No,
I think you believe what you're saying. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not accusing you of any.
It's competitive, but the thing is, Beats, you guys are all saying that it's like it's a wash. That's a sparring session.
That's what it is. That's what we think.
Because that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Beats. Here's the thing. Beats. Okay, what I was going to say about Zurdo. Yeah, Zurdo has proven to be very good. Hats off to him. He's done what good fighters do. He's come back from defeat. But Zurdo went into the Bivol fight thinking he could outbox him. Now that is the dumbest thing you could do against a pure boxer. He didn't even try to pressure Bivol in that fight. So I think, now I'm not saying Zurdo would have won the fight, but again, we didn't know how good Zurdo was because he had fought nobody. Now he's fought good fighters, but Benavidez has had to prove himself as a contender, and I'm far more impressed with what Benavidez has shown because he's been challenged a lot more. I mean, he's had to prove his skills against better competition. Now Zurdo's gone on to do great things, but this is why look. You think this fight's going to be like the Zurdo fight? Sorry, I disagree. Benavidez is better.
Sorry, guys. Anthony Mack says Benavidez is just a bigger version of Antonio Margarito. A flipping
no. Anthony.
Yo. Let me finish the comment, bro.
Sorry,
right?
Bates.
And he said, Benavidez is just a bigger version of Antonio Margarito, a flipping weight bully at 168, beating up 154-pound boys. Get the F out of here. I reckon, big up Anthony Mackin as well. I do reckon, I agree. A few people agree with Anthony, and I agree with him. I agree with that assessment. I think that's quite spot on. I also think Callum Smith is going to be overlooked and undersold in that fight, right? And when Callum produced that same combination punching that people didn't think he could do on Buatsi, who they picked to win, and I picked Callum, they're going to be, oh, same thing again. Same thing. I'm really hoping Callum gets that fight. I'm really hoping Callum gets it. Yeah.
I will say this much. I do think Callum is a much more winnable fight for Benavidez than Bivol. I don't think he has, like I said, I don't think he's got a snowball's chance in hell against Bivol. But a Callum fight, that one is, you know what I mean? If it's not 50-50, it's like I said, it's competitive. It's competitive and interesting. And especially Callum coming off that performance. But really, I got to give credit to Callum and Bawatsi. I remember you said it on the Hangout beats. You're like, this ain't your old school, English UK boxing match. It was, you know what I mean? They were on that Carmen Basilio.
Oh yeah.
Shoulder to shoulder.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
You know what impressed me, Doc, is the way both of them fought inside, man, in the pocket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Carmen Basilio shoulder to shoulder. You know what I mean? Mixing it up that way, kind of thing. Where did that come from? That was good stuff.
Hey, somebody was asking earlier, are they looking forward to Keith Thurman against Jarvis? What's his name? Jarvis Brock, is it? Brock Jarvis.
You talking about?
Yeah.
I'm ready for the throwback fighter to come back. I'm ready for the throwback fighter to come back. Remember that beast? You remember that beast?
What's that one, Chris? What's that?
He called himself a throwback.
You ready for the throwback guy?
Throwback. Oh, no.
Elder Barge making his return.
I tell you what, man, if Brock beats his ass, bro, like that must be him done, innit?
It's got to be it. Yeah, that's got to be the end.
What fight is this? What weight class is this fighter?
I think at 147.
Is it 154? I thought it was 154.
Oh, is it 154? It could be 154. Here's the thing, though, right? The Australians have looked at it, right? And they're thinking, this is a good time to get him. Because when was Keith's last fight? Like, when was his last? Who did he fight? Like, it wasn't Pacquiao, was it?
No, it was.
He fought the Mexican cat after him.
It wasn't Riverside Rocky his last fight, was it? Where he almost got knocked out?
Yeah, I think so.
He almost got knocked out against Riverside Rocky, bro.
He's a big kid, though. He a little way bigger than Keith.
This is what I'm saying, bro. Right? Boxing is all about timing, right? No, his last fight was against Mario Barrios, right?
Okay, that's the one. Yeah,
right?
That's the fair enough.
He got hurt in that fight too.
Yeah, he looked lame in that. Yeah, he didn't look good in that either. Right? Keith has had since 2019, since the Riverside Rocky 2019, he had 2 fights 2019 against Pacquiao, and he's fought once since then against Mario Barrios. Right? He's 36 years of age. Brock Jarvis, like you said, looked a lot bigger because he's 20. He's a kid. He's still maturing, right? He's still maturing. He's still developing. He hasn't been that active himself, to be honest, since Liam Paro beat him. But he's had 2 fights against nobody. But they're banking on catching Keith at the right time and get him as a stepping stone, a nice little scalp who they can market and perhaps get into bigger fights.
My understanding is that the concept is the winner of Thurman Jarvis is going to fight Tim Tszyu. So that's why I assume it's at 154.
154 it is. That's what it says. Super welter.
Okay.
Hey, and you know something? No. I'm incorrect. Yeah, 154. So when is that? That's just a few days away.
Oh, the Bard's going to get his ass whooped down there. He's going to get beat up.
So okay, let's go around the panel. What you got? What do you think, Doc? How do you think it's going to end up, or you just have to watch out and see how it plays out?
Thurman gets pulled out. I think Thurman gets pulled out.
Okay.
Not a clean knockout, but I think it gets pulled out.
Anyone else want to chime in?
I think, man, his last performance is beats. There's a chance he might get beat if he don't pull out the fight. So he don't get injured. Because he's been getting hurt.
I meant in the
He's
fight.
36.
Sorry, to be clear, I meant in the fight. He's going to get pulled down. Yeah. He's going to lose.
Yeah, I think Thurman should win but it's not saying something. I mean, I again, in my conversation with Rick Glazer, he says that Thurman has been so inactive because he keeps turning down fights. So yeah, Keith Thurman's one of the biggest disappointments for me because I was super high on him when Mayweather retired and wouldn't fight him. But yeah, Thurman turned out to be everything he said he wasn't. So yeah, big disappointment.
I will say this. I'll throw this out there. I think if it was the Keith Thurman like around the time where he fought Porter, which is ages ago now, it'd be a different conversation entirely. But this version, the one that nearly, like I said, nearly got right, and not nearly, rightfully could have been stopped by Riverside Rocky if the ref had, decided to do that. This version of Keith, he's going to get punched up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Here's the thing, like Keith, because he's wasted his career away since, like he did a great job becoming unified welterweight champion, but since he's wasted his career away after that, after losing to Pacquiao, he's returning obviously because he wants to fight, and it's like I think he should win the fight, but it really doesn't mean much. Like I'm not even motivated to watch it because I mean it's just Keith Thurman should have fought a long time ago. So it is what it is. Like I think he's got the skills to win, but I mean I just don't. A guy who's fought once in 5 years, like it's hard to feel motivated to.
I'm not gonna go so far as to say that they're correct because obviously we got to see the fight first. But
yeah,
my thought is this: Brock Jarvis and Tim Zoo's people, they're bringing Keith over there to Australia to be an opponent.
For sure,
they're not bringing him over there to win. All right, he ain't bringing.
Beast.
But here's the thing:
what happened?
Yeah.
Beast, what happened to his fan base that was all going crazy over him years back that you used to argue with? What happened? They abandoned him.
Yeah, they went to where the dinosaur, Chris, man. You know what I mean?
I was only defending Keith Thurman when he was injured, and like my big problem with how Keith Thurman was treated was he was unified champion, and the Mayweather fans who were jealous that he was calling Floyd out and Floyd ducked him, they all came to Errol Spence and was like, oh, Errol Spence is the man when he hadn't fought anyone.
No, Mayweather would have destroyed that boy.
Hold on. Did you just say Keith Thurman? I mean, Floyd Mayweather duck Keith Thurman?
Of course he did.
Okay. One sec. Did Floyd Mayweather offer Keith Thurman to fight Errol Spence for one of his belts?
Oh no, that's my problem. That's my problem with how Floyd treated. Like Floyd had no right to say, "Oh, you fight this guy." That's the same stuff Wilder pulled with Dillian White. So
no. Two different situations. Right? Two different situations. Right? Floyd Mayweather was the cash cow of the sport. Deontay Wilder was not the cash cow of the sport. Floyd Mayweather is the pound for pound #1 fighter in the sport. If he says, come on the undercard, fight Errol Spence for one of these belts. If Keith Thurman had did that and knocked out Errol Spence, how would Floyd have been able to duck him? Everybody would have been on Floyd.
Because Floyd
and Keith said, no, I'm not going to do as you said. And he done what you suggested. And look at his career now. Look at his career.
Historical examples.
Well, Here's the thing. I'm not. I defended Keith Thurman during the whole Spence thing until he proved that he would have, even if he didn't get injured, he would have probably ducked Spence. So yeah, I'm not defending the indefensible. That's why I don't really care about it. I mean, he's once upon a time. I'm just saying that yes, Floyd did duck him, but he started ducking Spence eventually. So yeah,
I didn't really care to see that. I really didn't care to see him fight Floyd anyway, because I never really rated Keith Thurman. I think he was overhyped.
He get beat up like Berto got beat up, man.
I thought that.
Same kind of fight.
I seem to be the opposing view on this panel, but hey, Beats, I appreciate you having me on. But sorry, since the guys mentioned my comments earlier, I got to say, Benavidez is nothing like Margarito. To Anthony who said it, sorry.
No, exactly. Margarito a better fighter.
No,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Margarito
a better fighter.
Okay, couldn't disagree more. But
well, you don't know Margarito's career, no?
I know Margarito's career very well. I've been Beats. I've been following boxing not as long as you have, but I've been following boxing a long time.
All right, so you don't know Margarito's career, yeah? He beat up Sergio Martinez, yeah?
I do know Margarito's career.
He got a better resume though.
Well, yeah, no, I agree with that, but
Sergio Martinez and Cotto.
Yep, he ain't got none of them on his resume.
How about that Paul Williams fight that could have gone either way?
That could have went either way.
Yeah,
I agree.
He was oh no, that's someone else. Hey, go ahead.
You believe Benavidez has got a better resume than Margarito?
No. I never said that. I never said the resume. I mean, Margarito.
You did say
retired.
that. What?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't beat.
No,
he didn't beat. He didn't say that.
I said he people. I never said he's got a better resume. I said Benavidez is a better fighter than Margarito. Margarito is. So sorry. The guys saying the guys who they were referring to me in the comments. They said Benavidez is just Margarito. I'm saying no, he's better than Margarito.
They got like the same kind of style though. They do got the same kind of style though.
How do you qualify that someone is a better fighter and they don't have a better resume? How do you qualify that?
Because he hasn't had a chance to fight the top guys yet. We'll see if he can get a better resume.
So you're betting on it. Fair enough. I'm just
in terms of Beats. I'm saying his skill set is better than Margarito. Margarito was just Margarito.
They do the same stuff though. They both
come in square on with swinging wide shots and trying to bury you in activity. It is similar.
Benavidez has better punch sequences, better defense, better overall skills than Margarito.
Better defense.
Know about that. They about the same.
You can throw punches out. You can throw punches out the window and hit Benavidez. What are you talking about? Like, where's the defense you're talking about? My man comes in square on, throwing wild hooks. Now he's got good. The reason he gets away with it is at 168.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. What's my man
real
name?
quick, Chris, hang on. He does have good hand speed. So he's able to pile. If he can drown you in activity, Benavidez, right? Then he can break you. But bro, that don't work.
I want to ask everybody a question. You think he would come forward on Beterbiev like that?
No.
And I said,
hold on. I picked people. Look, I can screenshot a comment I made the day of the fight after he beat Morrell. I pick him to beat Bivol. I'm not picking him to beat Beterbiev. But Beterbiev's not the champion. So
he'll tell it. They'll look like George Foreman versus Joe Frazier.
I agree with that. I think Beterbiev beats Benavidez, but
he knocks him out. I actually think he knocked him out.
I'm gonna go old school on you with a Burt Sugar quote. Okay, this is what I think of Bivol versus Benavidez. Benavidez ain't gonna be able to find Bivol with a Geiger counter, and he ain't gonna land. It's gonna, like Beat said, sparring session. Now again, if I end up being wrong, I'll be the first one to show up here and acknowledge, right? You got it right and I got it wrong. But that's my read on it right now. Is Bivol ain't gonna get touched against Benavidez. He's gonna whoop that ass.
Okay, I couldn't disagree more. I think the fight's competitive, but okay. The fight hasn't even happened yet, but I just disagree.
I want to see Callum Smith versus Benavidez.
That's a good. That's a good fight.
I really want to see that fight.
That's good. That will tell us a lot.
I know how good Callum is. Anyway, I mean, I know, like, people have had a got Callum because he lost to Beterbiev. He was an absolute beast. Who, in my opinion, right? He would deal with Benavidez in a more vicious manner than Bivol would. I'm not being funny. Benavidez don't even go 8.
No.
He didn't even make the 8th, 9th round.
Caban had the right.
Not even the
Caban had
8th
the
or
right
9th.
idea. It down goes Frazier.
That'd be if Benavidez was to fight Beterbiev, that'd be a video nasty.
Yeah, I agree with that. I said after the Morrell fight, I can't pick a guy who has poor defense like Benavidez when he comes forward to beat a guy like Beterbiev. But the thing is, the fight's not going to happen. I mean, if the trilogy doesn't happen, I don't know how long Beterbiev's going to hang around. I just think I'm just talking about the Bivol fight, and because Bivol's the champion. But yeah. I'd love to come back on Beats and break that fight down if it does get made, because look, maybe Bivol wins. I was just surprised so many people think Benavidez is going to get washed.
For what it's worth,
I don't see why you're surprised. That's why I don't get. I don't see why you're surprised at all.
Because Benavidez, okay, well, I've given my reasons. I think Benavidez is. I'm picking him to win the fight.
Your pick. I don't see why you're surprised. Like that's
how is Benavidez going to keep up with the pivots? Just like from a technical perspective, let's go with like one thing at a time. And I'm not. I got no problem with you having a different opinion than me. That's what makes these conversations interesting. So don't take it personally.
No, you want to know where I'm coming from.
Where? How does, just for starters, how does Benavidez keep up with the pivots? Because that's what's going to happen all night.
Pressure. You have to
elaborate. Because my man comes in square on. It's not really intelligent pressure that I see from him.
Well, he can't. Okay, I said earlier he can't. He has to improve his footwork. He can't square up the way he did to Morrell when he got buzzed by that jab. But you pressure. Okay, a guy who pivots and moves and has excellent balance like Bivol, you have to pressure him repeatedly, put him against the ropes, rough him up, bang to the body, rip him with uppercuts. Benavidez does all those things. But you have to do it consistently. And Benavidez, he showed against Morrell that he can go against a young, hungry guy who, again, has decent power. Like, Bivol's a better fighter than Morrell, but Morrell, as a contender, was very solid in all areas, and Benavidez showed he can go 12 rounds.
You did
yes,
that.
But that's not. But Morrell is not in any way the same assignment. Morrell was more like an in-and-out fighter. Bivol is, like I said, he's going to keep pivoting away from that power hand all night. Number one, right? Benavidez doesn't use the jab for my money. Doesn't use the jab for shit to stabilize or keep his opponent in place. How is he even going to keep up in the pivots? How is he not going to get check hooked all night long?
Okay, well, he will get caught. I'm not saying he won't, but okay, I've given you reasons. You need to put the pressure on Bivol repeatedly, and Benavidez can do that. I hear what you're saying. He's going to get caught. Well,
no, he can't, bro. He can't pressure Bivol. He can't. Not 175. He can't.
He can't.
I don't.
Okay.
Well, but then again, we have. Let me just say what I was going to say. You could be right. We have to see it first. I don't see him putting enough pressure on to get a point win over Bivol. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Can't keep up with the feet. He can't. His feet can't keep up with Bivol's feet, and that's where it's a strange thing.
The footwork is in several different dimensions for a start, right? Mm-hmm. And like most boxing matches are won and lost with the feet. If you're talking like the footwork of Bivol, but it's two different dimensions, bro. Two different dimensions. And if you can't see that, then we just have to probably disagree.
No, Beats. Here's the thing. I agree with you. Benavidez, he needs to improve his footwork. The thing is, I believe he can do it.
Within a few months, he can improve his footwork to compete with Bivol. No,
I believe,
bro.
Yes.
No.
Beats. Here's why. Benavidez
is
not.
Stop it here, bro. It's not, to me. It's not good. After a time, you've made your point. That's it. We wrap that one up.
We got to come back to it when it happens. We got to come back to it. If you turn out to be right, then fair enough.
As it stands of now, Bivol is an elite fighter. Benavidez, not quite there.
That's contender. But Benavidez is a contender, Beats. He's a contender. Not elite.
I agree.
Not elite.
I agree. I never said Benavidez is elite. But
All
look,
right, so let's move this one on then.
Yeah.
Let's move this one on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's only so much you can argue for at this time for Benavidez against Bivol. There's only so much you can. If you're being objective, there's only so much you can argue.
For sure.
So let's move this one on, right? Because we have, let's say, 20 minutes to go. Let's introduce a new topic.
Aye.
What do you guys got in the chat? Or let me see. What have we got? Did anyone see what's her name? Natasha Jonasson and Price not interested in women's boxing, or we skip over that one?
Not really. I didn't watch it. I'm not a big fan of women's boxing.
I
Okay,
agree with your assessment. Beats old age.
Okay.
Similar with you know what it reminded me of a little bit, Beats? It reminded me a little bit of when oh gosh, what's her name when she fought Cecilia Brækhus, and Cecilia Brækhus just couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, like
you know who I'm talking about. She's oh, what's her name? I'm spacing on names today. McCaskill. There we go. When McCaskill fought Cecilia Brækhus, and Cecilia to me, right, in terms of body of work, was the better technician, but she just couldn't pull the trigger. You know what I mean? Couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, sometimes the age catches up, and like
exactly.
Natasha 40. Yeah, I mean, Natasha needs to get the knitting needles out now. You know what I mean?
The knitting needle. My man said the knitting needle.
Yeah, keep it a bead, bro. I mean, you look old in there, Natasha. You look old in there. You look old. I was expecting a little more. I was expecting a lot more. You know what I mean? Is there any boxing on tonight?
I'm watching the UFC tonight because my channel's Fight Sport Talk, so I cover both. I mean the next big boxing event is obviously the Fury card. That's the big one.
I'm about to make Beats and Mr. Doc laugh. You know what that fight gonna remind me of? Benavidez Bivol. That's gonna remind me of Chris Bird versus what's my man name? James Thunder.
James Thunder, man. He's from New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah, the wackest heavyweight. You remember they were pushing that guy on Tuesday night fights all the time?
Yeah, I remember that.
He was all over Tuesday night fights on USA. I remember.
What's that super middleweight they used to push?
You only saw Thunder versus Bird. He came over here and tried to fight.
Knockout. He had a fastest knockout against somebody.
Yeah, he did. Crawford Grimsley, was it? Who took
Crawford. That's the same guy. Didn't Foreman fight Crawford Grimsley?
Yes, he did, and he took him to distance. But I tell you what, right? They brought Thunder over to the UK. Yeah, this big punching Kiwi, and Derek Williams, who lost to Lennox Lewis, he was kind of like a hot and cold performer, and Derek Williams destroyed Thunder. He made Derek Williams look like Larry Holmes on the New Improved Business, bro. Derek Williams looked like he killed Thunder. He styled him and beat him up in 2 rounds.
Reese Harris beat him up like Ali.
It was rough.
Horrible beating.
I'll tell you. Speaking of Larry Holmes, now just talking about not the whole package, but just the jab and the way they use it, Beats. I really hope people don't throw Martin Bakole overboard, because I'm telling you, that dude is dangerous. And that jab of his, in a similar vein to what I said about Agit Kabiel, that jab of his, when he's on form, is going to give everybody problems. Not saying he beats everybody, but he's going to give everybody problems.
Mr. Doc, he don't need to come in no fight at 310 pounds. He don't need to quit doing that.
I get that. I'm talking about properly trained Martin Bakole, okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that like I said, I know everybody like notices the uppercuts, but what I noticed going all the way back to when he punched up Yoka, and they still tried to rob him, by the way, when he when he beat the crap out of Yoka, is that jab of his.
Beats. I thought Joseph Parker was fighting Chubb Rock when they got in the ring.
All right, man. It went all wrong, didn't it? It went all wrong. They gambled, and it didn't pay off.
I mean, for what it's worth, he did put hands on knockouts cause amnesia. He put hands on Joseph Parker. He put hands on Joseph Parker. He had him bloodied up and everything in less than 2 rounds, and then he got clipped on the top of the head, and that was that.
Yeah.
Heavyweight boxing.
It didn't pan out. It wasn't.
Yeah. That's what I mean when I say I hope the fans don't chuck McCauley overboard because of that. Because trust me, he's going to give a lot of people problems. So, you know what I mean? Like, if not everybody problems.
Well, you know what I mean?
Throwback fight about to get knocked, spark out.
He'll get another opportunity.
Yeah, those are my two. Those are my two. Like, I guess whether you want to call them dark horses or like the two heavyweights I'm keeping an eye on: Agit Kabayel and Martin Bakole.
Well, Kabayel's amazing. I mean, I thought Kabayel was going to get washed by Makhmudov, and I mean, not just the way he beat him, but he stopped him. Like Kabayel's. Like I'm very high on Joseph Parker, not just because he's my countryman, but he's
that's a fight. That's a fight. I'm not going to say that I can't pick that one. That's a fight. Parker and Kabayel. That's a great matchup.
I believe Parker wins the fight, but But if there's one advantage, Kabayel's shown to have. He's got much better power. Like aside from Callum Smith being Boatsi, Kabayel's really proven me wrong because when he fought Derek Chisora, an old wash Chisora who looked bored as hell in the fight, he just fought negatively. Now he's knocking guys out. Like, stopping Zhang, even if it's an old Zhang, that's impressive.
But he still beat guys in the top 10, beat Frank Sanchez.
And by the way, I remember watching. Me and Beats were watching the Frank Sanchez fight together, and I remember saying about 4 or 5 rounds in, I said, "Oh my God, he's gonna stop him. He's going to stop him the same way he stopped damn Makhmudov." And I'm telling you that for how well is that defeat aging for Derek Chisora? Because it was only like a split decision or a majority decision, if memory serves.
It was a clear.
Derek, in hindsight, Derek done really well for himself against a guy that can. Here's my big point about Kabayel. What I love about him, he can do everything. If he needs to fight on the back foot, if he needs to go inside, whatever, he can do it all.
What was that guy named? What was that guy named that we used to make fun of? That they said he was going to beat. They said he was better than Mike Tyson. The guy that Povetkin knocked out. He had blood on his chest. What was that dude name?
Oh God! Oh! Pricey! Pricey got the blood on his chest. That's never gonna. That was low place. So I remember blood on man.
Blood on my chest.
David Price was the first. David Price was the first prospect who I thought was going to get exposed early, and I was actually right about as. But
the guys that was in the comment section, they were coming over here going crazy on Beats, talking about he was better than Mike Tyson.
They were.
I knew
Pricey. I gotta give Pricey this. He gave me a lot of entertainment. All right, win, lose or draw.
Oh yeah.
The night he looked, I'll never forget the night Dave Allen made him look like Larry Holmes. But my man sitting there jabbing and moving. Hey,
Beats, do you mind if I ask you? Hey, since you just brought up Dave Allen, Beats, do you mind if I ask you a question about Dave Allen? Because you're from the UK, right?
Yep.
Why did it's in the past, but I was always curious. Why did Dave Allen always speak so derogatory of Anthony Joshua when Joshua was champion? Like he used to act like he was about to fight and beat Anthony Joshua. He acted like Joshua was a nobody, even though Joshua was the man at heavyweight. Like, does he have like some old beef with Joshua? It was always weird. Like,
Oh,
he
no,
just
man.
rubbished everything. He just rubbished everything AJ did.
Dave Allen, my take from a distance, being an American, is just Dave Allen is just weird fundamentally. Like kind of a weird guy that seems to be kind of part of his appeal. Maybe I'm wrong about that. That seems to be part of his makeup. He's just weird. He's just fucking weird.
He's very much his own guy. But no, I think I'll say this. I want to see Caballero fight Joseph Parker because I mean Parker's my guy, but
that's a good fight. That's a good fight, man. That's a really good fight. I can't split that.
I'm picking Parker to win, but I will say Caballero, that would be super dangerous. And you know, ideally, I'd like to see Parker fight Usyk.
I'll tell you what. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'll tell you what. If Caballero goes in there and just wrecks shop against Parker the way he's done against everybody else, you know, Zhang, the Cuban guy, and Makhmadov, right? If he does the same, if he stays in care, well, holy shit! People need to stand up and pay attention at that point. If he's able to just slap Joe Parker around, you know what I mean? The way he's done these other guys.
Well,
I'm not saying that. I don't think that. I think that's a pick 'em fight, right? But I'm just saying that's when Caballero finally needs to get some credit because that goes all the way back to when I jumped on when Caban was talking about the people in the comment section. They're finding reasons to not give my man credit. What the fuck? I mean, what more do you want? Yeah.
We've got 10 minutes, so I want to change direction.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about Dana White hooking up with Turkey? We're going to get this boxing league.
I don't want to see him in nowhere near boxing.
Why
I don't want to see Dana White because he ain't doing. He doing that. He wasn't doing nothing for UFC. Really, they weren't making no money. Nah, I don't want him over here. Turkey doing good by itself.
Yeah, they ain't making no money because boxing's been on the upturn probably.
Yeah, but they don't be fighting each other. They was talking about boxing, but they was one point in time they wasn't fighting. They guys wasn't fighting each other either.
All right.
I'll say this: if it's a big if, because I'm just going off what I've kind of observed from a distance or heard.
If it was a split, we'd be all fucked up.
If what they're doing is a league for you know prospects and guys with only a few fights or guys that don't have, you know what I mean, a major promoter behind them, that kind of thing, that would make sense to me. That would be, you get what I'm saying? Then it would be like it'd be like a component that fits into the bigger picture. And I can see that scenario. I can see that working out, but it's just a question. It's a question of what are they going to aim for? If they're going to aim for, go ahead, sorry.
What's up with the WBC and Turkey?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's up with that.
It's. I was on Turkey publicly bashed the IBF last year, so I don't think this is anything major. I think he's just battling with the. I mean, no promoter likes the sanctioning bodies.
WBC guy told was dissing Turkey.
Oh, after the belt fiasco during the press conference, right?
Yeah, it's
okay. So what did he say? What did he say? You know, roughly. What did he say?
Hold on, let me bring that article up. I was reading. I'm surprised Beats didn't even cover it.
Well, I'll just say this, because as an MMA guy, can you offer some perspective on the Dana White boxing thing? I think it's good for boxing. I think Dana White knows fighters. He knows how to connect with them. He knows talents. And he was a boxing guy. A lot of people don't know this. He was a boxing guy before he was in MMA. So I think it's a good thing. I've seen a lot of people they're worried that this prospect league is going to go the UFC model where fighters have virtually no rights and they're like old school boxing contracts. I'll just say this. The sport's not going backwards. Like fighter pay's not going to go down. They're not going to bring in uniforms like they're going to try. They may try and get rid of the Ali Act, but they can't. Like, they're
Not in
gonna be able to
America. They might now internationally. You got to remember the sport's not just America. In fact,
that was going to be my next.
Let me say, as an American, not only is the sport not American centric anymore, I would say America's on the outside looking in at the moment. And when it comes to boxing,
Well, that was
for a variety of reasons. But I just wanted to make that clear.
Sure.
I'm over here.
I was just gonna say that the Ali Act only applies to America. It doesn't apply outside of it, but it doesn't, like, even outside of America, they're not going to be able to bring in uniforms, and fighter pay is not going to go down. Like they're not going to be able to implement
I think
a UFC.
You used a key word, and it alludes to what I was saying earlier. So you said, like, prospect league. If it's a prospect league, right?
Well, that's what they're talking about.
Okay,
That's
well then forgive me for being hesitant to take them at their word, right? But if what they're saying is the chip truth, right, and it's a prospect league, everything kind of makes sense to some extent, okay? Because you're dealing with, I'm guessing, prospects, that aren't, immediately being swooped in upon by the likes of, Top Rank and Matchroom, et cetera, right? Because they're way ahead of the game, right? It's the prospects that are still probably pretty good, or maybe have potential but need some more development, or whatever. The blue chippers, they say, as opposed to the red chips in American football and basketball, right? Prospects. Yeah. So the blue chip, if it's a league for the blue chip prospects that maybe aren't that just slip through the cracks or whatever you want to call it, I think it could be perfect. In its own way, it could be perfect, right? Because there is a need for that, right? We like I know, at least here, I can't remember the last Olympic cycle of boxing I actually sat down and watched. Like, I have to honestly, I have to go back to Roy Jones. Like, dude, the 90s. That's how hard it's become to find. What I'm trying to say is, it used to be, back when we had 3 channels, American amateur boxing was prominent on TV, right? It was not, you didn't have to go looking for it. Now, highest level of American amateur boxing, the highest level, the Olympics, I couldn't tell you how to find it.
How old is Fight Sport Talk? How old are you, Fight Sport Talk?
I only started my channel last year, so.
No, I said, how old are you in age?
Yeah, just roughly. Yeah, give us. You don't have to give the exact age. Just roughly. Where are you?
I'm in my early 30s.
Okay.
Oh yeah, back in the day when we couldn't watch fights, we had to go. When you missed a fight, we had to go in the back of magazine and order them.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Before YouTube.
Once the VHS came out, though, once the VHS came out, you knew the pattern, which was, it would be like somewhere between 1 and 4 weeks, depending on the magnitude of the fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, especially like the Ali fights. I remember it was like that when my dad got the first VHS machine, right?
So about a month.
Yeah, they would always show them on, even the big ones would get replayed on Wide World of Sports, like the Thrill in Manila got replayed on Wide World of Sports. Yeah. But that would be like 2, 3, 4 weeks. But the point is, it was such a different world, because it's like literally 3 channels. All right, one, which, the third one barely comes in. I have to go on the roof and adjust the antenna, that kind of shit, right? And then literally, it's like you live through the experience of going from that to cable TV. 30 something channels. Holy shit! Right? It sounds like nothing now, because it is, but at the time, 30 channels. Chris, you can attest to this.
Yeah, you remember before ESPN, we had
shit.
They ain't from the States, right? We had Home Team Sports. You remember the HTS?
And you had Prime Sports Network. You had fucking USA when USA was like, ESPN, exactly. ESPN was like, holy shit.
Top ranked boxing.
And we're talking late 70s, early 80s with all this shit. Like, it went from 3 channels. It went from CBS, ABC, NBC. Chris, again, you can fact check me on this, right? You know what I mean? Those were the main, what would you call it, networks.
Yeah, I think Wild World of Sports was on CBS, wasn't it?
ABC.
ABC.
Remember they
that
had
was
the yellow
one.
jackets. They had the yellow jackets. That was, for whatever reason, they all had the yellow jackets on Wide World of Sports. And anyways, you went from 3 channels to 30. You didn't go from 3 to 10 to, you know what I mean? No. It explodes outwards, if you get me.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
And
I know.
Okay.
I know about that. Yeah.
Right. Well, even that, like, dude, boxing used to be like, how to put it? Like, it was at least a top 4 sport. You know what I mean? Depending on who was champion and what fights were coming up, that kind of thing, compared to the other sports here.
Yep.
But nowadays, the bottom line is this: it's the Mexicans and the Mexican Americans that hold down the sport in North America.
Yeah,
They're the ones buying out all of them. They're the ones.
Hey, Mr. Doc.
Yeah.
Mr. Doc and Beats, we forgot the we had a fight we did never get to see.
Mm.
That was Chocolito versus Low Place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just joking.
He was crazy, T. T was crazy.
Almost to you though.
Hey, but listen, man, I'm gonna shut this one down, gentlemen. Fight Sport
Yeah.
Talk, Chris, Mr. Doc, appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir. Appreciate
Good
Thanks for having me on,
contribution,
Beats.
good debate. We did
Nice
Thanks for having me on, man.
Nice meeting you. Fight talk.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on, Beats. Been subscribed to you for a long time. If I could just plug my channel, Fight Sport Talk, and hey, as much as we disagree, I'd love to be back on in the future. And yeah, peace out to everyone.
It's no problem. Peace.
All right.
Beats, I never did get your take on the Chris Eubanks and Ben. Who you got?
Chris Eubank and Ben. I don't know, man. It's getting a bit crazy with that rehydration clause, and
You think all that is to get? You think all that Ben doing, Eubanks is doing is to get him get him in a slugging match with the egg and stuff?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I think he was going to get that anyway. I don't see Ben fighting any other way. He's probably going to just.
I don't think that's a good idea to fight a big dude like that in that type of way.
It depends, because he's going to try and weave under his jab and come up with them big shots and take Chris out. So it's going to be exciting. And whether he can do it or not, we'll have to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll have to see. You know?
I know people don't. People ain't giving Ben Eubanks a chance. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, Eubank's his favorite.
Yeah. Now people over here, I'm talking about people that I'm talking about. People
Oh,
that I talk
they
to.
think Ben's going to win, yeah?
Yeah, they talking crazy, talking about, man, Eubanks ain't been looking good. I'm going with Ben. That's what my friends talking about.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see on that one, bro. We'll have to see. But yo, Chris, I'm gonna chop this one down, bro, because
I'll see you next time. Somebody
yeah. Come back on. Make sure when we go up that I mean, I'll leave an invite there, or I'll even send you one on Facebook.
Yeah, I've been missing out because I've been working, but I'll catch you next time.
All right, Chris. Peace.
Peace.
All right, to everybody in the chat, much appreciated. Have a good evening. Whatever's left of it, peace.